And welcome to After Hours as we welcome in Noah Hanifin. Well, how about this Battle of Alberta? Your first taste, not too bad, huh?
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun out there. My first taste of it, and it was everything I expected. You know, it was a great game. Hard-fought win by the boys there, so a lot of fun.
You said that right away, as soon as you saw the scrum with Matthew Tkachuk, you said, okay, this is how this game's going to go down. You guys were engaged right from the get-go in this one.
Yeah, no, for sure. I knew from the beginning, even starting with Benny's big hit and the fight and Chucky getting involved there, I knew it was going to be a scrappy game, and it's a rivalry, you know, and this is probably one of my first big rivalry games in a long time, and it was fun to be a part of.
Did it live up to the hype?
Yeah, it did for sure. It did for sure. I'm excited for the next one.
It's only fitting, I think, Noah, that we should be talking about. You get your 11th multi-point game, and the big assist that Elias Lindholm gets the goal. You guys come over in that trade from Carolina. It just seems that you guys are just finding yourselves now as young players, but obviously that felt good. A couple of guys connecting. You guys have some history, and now you play big parts tonight.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was a great goal by Lindy there, just being in front of the net. That was something we wanted to do all game, was get pucks to the net and get traffic there, and I think we did a good job of that in the third period, and Lindy's been having a heck of a season, so I'm happy for him.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the goal here, a little bit more if we could. You just put it on net there, but take us through it, because this guy it's his fourth game winner. I mean, you guys have been, I think, 32 goals in the third period. You're rolling. You have that confidence. What kind of a player are we getting here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's awesome to see how well he's doing. I've been fortunate to play with him for the past few years, and I know what he's all about. And he's a smart player. He plays a 200-foot game, and playing with guys like Johnny and Monahan now, I think it's really showing what he's made of. And I'm so happy for him, and he's doing really well.
I wanted to ask you, Cody Henry, we're going to take a look at a couple of tweets here throughout the night. And this is for you, Noah. Obviously, he wants to know what the transition has been like from a Southern American hockey market, and I think we talked about this, to a Canadian one. What's it been like for you, and what do you like about both?
Yeah, it's very different. Down in Carolina, I think it's a growing market. I think the game's growing down there, and it was different. I came here, and all of a sudden, you're playing in a sold-out crowd every single night, and you look at a game like tonight, it was just crazy out there, and it's different, but it's a lot of fun. And I think, like I said, I think Carolina's growing for sure, and I think maybe hopefully someday they'll get to this point. You
were saying that there's something about when you came to Calgary, when that trade happened, the snow, different than Boston, but yet you found some similarities as well from where your hometown is in Boston.
Yeah, no, for sure. Boston's a big sports town. It's a big hockey town, and it was my first time. When I came here, it was the first time in a long time that I felt I was playing in a big hockey market, and October 2nd. You got a snowstorm coming, so it was. It's been great.
Yeah.
You get recognized here too. It's a big difference, isn't it? This is an area where they're very passionate about their hockey. So I mean, it's a different feeling for you off the ice as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think for me and Elias both, we've actually talked about that a bit. Just going out to restaurants and walking around, people notice you, and they just show you the support, which is awesome.
Wanted to ask you, I mean, your career's been all about accelerated development. I mean, you go into the U.S. development program, you do just 1 year there, you go into college, just the 1 year there. We'll get to that in a moment, but I did want to ask about another tweet from Garrett. He says, Noah, I'm curious to hear from you your thoughts on partaking in the charity event held for Jim Johansson this summer in Michigan. What did you take away from that about the legacy of JJ and his impact on USA hockey?
Yeah, no, obviously it was great. JJ was a huge part of so many American players' development, and what he's done with the U.S. program and all the national teams. It's so terrible what happened, and playing with guys like Chucky and Austin Matthews, McAvoy. Those are memories I'll never forget, and a lot of that is due to JJ.
Yeah, no doubt. And everybody says the exact same thing as we roll on to Boston College. You do the 1 year there, and your friend Jack Eichel did some time there as well. And you guys come out of that program, you go into college just the 1 year before you jump to the pros. What was that college experience like?
No, it was great for sure. It was a dream of mine my whole life. Boston's a big college hockey town, and playing in the Bean Pod, it's a dream of a lot of kids from Boston. And playing at BC was a lot of fun. It was quick, but I think it really helped me prepare to get to the NHL and play at this level.
From there, you go into the NHL entry draft, and we've got a little sound and video to show you from that probably pretty important day for you.
Proud to select from Boston College, Noah Hanifin.
Yeah, that
Did you know? Yeah. I mean, there was a little hesitation there. What happened?
It actually blacked out. The audio went out, so no one knew who was drafted. There was a whole group of us around that area, and no one knew whose name got called. But
who was it that told you? was you.
I think it was someone a few rows in front of us. I think it was one of the security people. They told us, and like the lights flashed on us, and we were like, oh, I guess I got drafted. But
That is great.
yeah, it was a great experience. It was a lot of fun, and it was a great draft. You see how many players came from that draft that have done so well. So
Yeah. I want to stick with that day. There was a moment that I thought was kind of interesting as we look back with you and Bill Peters. Have a listen.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
It's an honor, you know. Thank you very much.
We're gonna build something special here.
Absolutely we are.
You're gonna be a big part of it.
Thank you very much. We're going.
So there he is, then the head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, and you guys were talking about building something special. Ironically, you end up in Calgary to try to build something special. What was that like for you as you kind of look at the trade and you're coming back to play for Bill?
Yeah, no, I was very excited about it, and obviously it's always a little weird when you get traded, and I think it was nice to go over with Elias and Derek Ryan signed a week later, and knowing guys like Chucky and Johnny made the transition pretty smooth. But just having Bill there and knowing what he's all about as a coach and what he expects from me, I think made it a lot easier.
Let's go back. We talked about this familiarity, some of those names that we were talking about, Matthews, Tkachuk, we could go on, but you've got history going back to when you were 8 years old with some of these guys. This wasn't you just show up as teenagers and let's play.
Look at this.
You guys go back to the junior Bruins in Boston. Matthew, I mean, McAvoy. I mean, Austin Matthews in some tournament play as well. I mean, there is some deep, Eichel as well, some real roots here for you guys.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You think, I've talked about some people before. You have a lot of top-end guys when you're kids, and then you see, here we are now playing in the NHL, and a lot of those guys are still here, which is cool. And I've been fortunate. I've been able to play with so many great players, my whole life. And like I said, going through when I was a kid in summer tournaments all the way up to the U.S. program, I've been real fortunate to play with so many high-end players.
Do you think playing with those players all the way up has pushed you to be better, knowing how good they were, to make yourself better as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I think none of us are ever really comfortable. We always knew there was someone better out there, and we were always pushing each other. And I think it got even more serious when we got to the U.S. program, and every day at practice, being able to compete with guys like Matthews and Tkachuk, and you got McAvoy or Ensky. There's just always so many good players there that we have to go to battle with every day, and I think that helped all of us develop.
Lily and Cole are your the sister and brother, and of course, as we get a look there, how about that shot? Jesus, is there anybody who just doesn't look like they just stepped off the pages of a magazine in this entire family? Bob and Tina are your parents, and there was a moment when your dad, I believe, was 43 when he was diagnosed with cancer. How did that affect the entire family at that point in your lives?
Yeah, no, it was tough for sure. I was in the 8th grade, and my brother and sister were pretty young at the time. But my dad's like my best friend. He's been someone he's been there for me my whole life, and he's really helped me get to this point. And when that happened, it was tough for our family for sure. But he fought hard, and thankfully he's cured from it now. But it was definitely a tough time for our family, and it was important for me to kind of step up a little bit and help my brother and sister out with my dad, kind of do some stuff.
And I know he credits you with doing exactly that. Listen, we would love to spend a lot more time with you. Thanks for making time for us after a very big win. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right,
Thanks,
there he is, Noah Hanifin.